What if I told you that you didn't need a camera to detect if somebody's in your house? And I mean like being able to detect with Wi-Fi signals, nothing but Wi-Fi signals. I know that kind of sounds like something out of, a science fiction novel, but we're here. We're definitely here. We've made it. If you had told me that this was possible 10 years ago, I would have probably thought you were crazy. But now, I guess the crazies have the last laugh, because this is definitely possible and you can do it with nothing but a few ESP32s and a Raspberry Pi Zero, or a Raspberry Pi in general. If you're new to this channel, hey, how's it going? I'm your pal Cal, and today we're going to be going over RuView, which is the newest feature on Ragnar. If you're unfamiliar with Ragnar, Ragnar is a cyber Viking network auditing tool similar to a Ponagachi. If you don't know what a Ponagachi is, stop what you're doing, look it up. All of these fun maker projects built around Raspberry Pi Zeros and Raspberry Pis in general are really fun educational projects that can teach you a lot about network security and as well as getting you started making something. One of my first favorite Raspberry Pi Zero projects was the Ponagachi, and when Ragnar came into being after Bjorn and so on, I just became in love with it. I love e-paper displays and Pi Zero projects. They're just fun to me, and I have spent a lot of my time building Raspberry Pi projects in general, and I'm a big fan of them. Ragnar is made by a developer by the name of Pierre Gode. Dear friend of mine, amazing dev, and he built RuSense over what was initially RuView. A couple people in the community have been working on this type of custom firmware. For example, Talking Sasquatch just dropped a CyberDeck with a cardputer ADV and a custom firmware that does that for the cardputer using an ESP32S3. Ragnar in particular allows you to use Ragnar as kind of the hub. You access the web UI and flash nodes to geofence your house. That way you can pretty much train Ragnar to understand that this is the parameters and whatever's in here, show me a 3D model, show me if it's breathing, show me if there's anybody there in general. Now, full disclosure, it's a work in progress, but it works better than anything I've seen before. And I am almost 100% anticipating ghost hunters or somebody starting to use this type of technology to detect presences or something of the sort. I think it's so crazy that this is possible that I'm almost anticipating some stuff in the near future using this type of technology to ghost hunt or something of the sort. Now, before we continue, this video is for educational purposes only. Remember to only test your own hardware. Do not test networks or devices or anything that you do not have explicit permission to test on. Follow all local laws. I don't condone any illegal activity. Don't snoop on anybody, and don't be a skid. So this is not a build video, but if you are going to build yourself a Ragnar, make sure you grab yourself a WaveShare 2.13-inch e-paper hat plus the black and gold variant. The colors are black and white. The board itself is black and gold as opposed to the blue one. It's just a better option if you ask me, and it's just a smooth experience as far as e-paper displays go. You're also going to need a Raspberry Pi Zero 2W. You do not need to get excessive like I have with, this is a bunch of hot glue. I'm using the 04U USB hub. I like it, but it's mini USB, which is why I have an adapter, which is why I don't recommend it if you want USB-C. You have options, and WaveShare has the Ethernet hub and the Ethernet USB hub and just the USB hub. Either way, you're gonna want a USB hub if you want to expand on your Ragnar.
So we're going to go to github.com/pierregode/Ragnar. I'll link this down below in the description. As always, all of the links are down below in the description. We're going to hit star right here. Make sure we leave the developer a star so to support him. And we can hit code and download zip if we want. Yep, hit save. There we go. But we don't really even have to do that, even though there's a lot of neat resources that are in the actual files that we're going to download. We have a web flasher to take care of everything. Now, I have a full build guide on how to flash Ragnar. This is not that video. If you'd like that video, it's also down below in the description. It can help you a lot because setting up Ragnar is incredibly easy, and it's not done through a pre-made image file. It's done through Raspberry Pi Imager and downloading Trixie Lite. And right here, this is what we want to SSH into our Raspberry Pi, and just copy this right here and paste it in our SSH terminal, and it'll flash Ragnar. Just go through the works. It's an entire auto setup process. It'll ask you which display, the whole nine. But if we scroll down, we can go to, it'll say right here, installation details, server mode, like I mentioned earlier, a Pi 4 or Pi 5 with more than 8 gigabytes of RAM can run the Ragnar server model. But down here, we now have RuSense, camera-free surveillance. And essentially, in this entire section, it'll tell you how we can pretty much flash nodes, either an S3 or a C6. I believe a C5 is coming as well, but if you want my honest opinion, flash an ESP32S3. It's just a lot simpler. S3 Super Minis and S3 Xiaos, even though they just went up in price by a little bit, they're still pretty inexpensive. We have to follow all of the details here, which is just make sure you install the backend, and it runs as Ragnar Sensing Service. So we can view it in Ragnar under the RuSense tabs, which I'll show you in a second, but there's an entire guide, so we can right-click here and open up the entire RuSense guide, which will explain every single detail of how it works and how all of this is possible. If we want to flash a node, which is, the sensor node that Ragnar communicates with, we can click here, which says flashing a node, right-click there. And here we have our flashing docks. But we can hit RuSense Flasher, and bam, we have a ESP32S3 or C6 flasher, and it's going to ask us to put in or provision our Wi-Fi by putting in our Wi-Fi SSID and our Wi-Fi password, as well as the server IP and your port number. Everything here is incredibly easy. We've got Forge S3 CSI node and the S3 Dev Kit C, and down here the C6 CSI node. We have options, and there are more options being made. I love how much he puts into his man. This man is a genius. Like, he really pours his soul into his projects, and it's just amazing to see what it's become and what Ragnar is becoming. Now, it's asking you to please make sure that you do not mix and match the ESPs that you choose from. If you want to go with C6s, you can go with C6s. If you want to go with S3s, stick with S3s, and so on in the future. We have the ESP32S3 AMOLED node, which allows you to pretty much get a little bit of visual feedback. But we also have the S3 Dev Kit C1, and we have the C6 CSI node. All of these are in the GitHub page, and we can pick between them. One has 16 megabytes of flash memory, while the other needs 8. I, in my hand, have a ESP32S3 Super Mini, which I want to say is either 4 or 8 megabytes of flash memory. But let's plug this in. We got it plugged in, and we can select the dev kit. Just, if it works, it works, which I know it does work, so we're good to go. It's going to erase flash, and afterwards, it'll flash in under 60 seconds, which is pretty cool.
Once you've flashed your nodes and you've got your Ragnar all set up, we can now train and geofence our nodes. That way we can get ready to actually detect what's within its parameters. And we want to train our nodes to only detect what's within, the confines of our house and nothing outside of it. That way we have a more accurate reading, and the entire interface for Ragnar and RuSense in particular is refined to make it not just easy, but incredibly intuitive. Let's actually access the web UI so I can show you guys. All right, so I had to switch my mic, and I apologize if it sounds abysmal. It's my backup mic. But this is the RuSense Web UI in Ragnar. If you don't know how to get to here, what you want to do is access the Ragnar hotspot. The password is Ragnar Connect. We go to 192.168.8.1 and essentially click the RuSense tab. From here, we can start training our Ragnar to detect the nodes and everything from sensitivity as well as positioning. In the bottom of the menu, you'll see a grid, and I would suggest flashing around 6 nodes just to be on the safe side. And I know it might be a little bit complicated, but we can move the nodes around. That way we can get a general idea of what our parameters are. We want to geofence everything while also training our model to detect for respiration, heart rate, the whole 9. We can select between nodes to be absolutely sure that each node is detecting, I don't know how else to put it, like Don't put them too far, don't put them too close. You want the perfect grid. You want to add more nodes, more power to you. Just make sure you geofence them correctly, and if you don't train it properly, then you might get some false positives and just an inaccurate reading. Once everything's set up, you can basically go into RuSense and get a clear view of what's around you, and it's insanely accurate. I'm still in awe at how beautiful this is and how amazing and how far we've come. This whole project is. Ragnar has now become more than just a pen testing home network auditing tool on the fly. We can turn it into our own mini security system, and I'm beyond impressed. Like, hands down, this is so cool. Turning Ragnar into a water driver was awesome with Hugin ESP. Turning Ragnar into a Bluetooth skimmer detector with Vord C5 was awesome. But being able to set parameters, geofence, and get it for everything down to the sensitivity is just phenomenal. RuSense is based on RuView, but on RuView we couldn't really adjust the sensitivity of what we could detect, as well as like for heartbeat monitoring in particular, or the accuracy of what's within the parameters. With RuSense, we can, which is what makes it kind of exciting. I already love Ragnar. I like Ragnar to the point where me and DA Tech Labs actually came out with a Ragnar Ponagachi Flipper Zero board, and this has been around for quite some time, but our variant has a GPS module pinout, so you can solder on an ATGM 336H and actually build yourself your own little Ragnar / Ponagachi board for a Flipper Zero, and use the Flipper Zero as a battery bank. And I'm just a fan of both of those projects. Ragnar can also become a Ponagachi. You can run Ragnar and the Ponagachi firmware side by side. That's something that a lot of people overlook, but I think it's really exciting, which is why we named it the Ragnar Ponagachi board as opposed to just the Ponagachi board. As I said before, Ragnar is nowhere near being done with updates. They have a lot more work to do, and it's not even just Pierre. You got Pierre, Octo, AK Rex, everybody's coming together to make some of the best features on some of my favorite projects. I love your faces. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a comment down below on what you guys think of this type of technology being slowly upgraded to be a lot more intuitive than it was before. You guys are amazing. I want to thank my Patreon supporters, and I want to thank you for watching this to the very end, because you're the best, man, and I love your faces. Oh, and if you guys want a Ragnar Ponagachi board, they're available on our website, valleytechsolutions.tech. It's just a cute board. It's nothing special. It's incredibly niche, and yeah, I think it's cool. Love your face.